Hey everyone, how's it going? In 2020, all the way back in 2020, we started off this solo series by seeing which Kanto starter was the fastest. Then we looked at their final forms in 2022 during the so-called month of Gyros. Well, now, all the way in 2026, it's time to finish off the starters in red and blue by looking at probably the most overlooked forms, but still definitely someone's favorite, the middle evolutions. If you want to go and rewatch those videos, please do now. But for the rest of you, just some spoilers ahead. When it came to the pre-evolved starters, none of them were all that great relative to the other pre-evolved Pokemon, but among the three, Bulbasaur was the best, and then Charmander and Squirtle had the hardest time. But they all were relatively close to one another. When it came to the fully evolved Pokemon, Blastoise is actually one of the best Pokemon in the game. Unsurprisingly, it was used in speedruns for years. And then 20 ranks later, Venusaur, and then 20 later, this could be an outdated list I'm using from, but regardless, Charizard. But the middle evolutions aren't exactly the same. Charizard doesn't have flying, they learn moves at earlier levels, they learn different moves. So are they going to be more like their pre-evolved forms, or more like their final forms? Well, let's start out with Pokedex entry number 2, Ivysaur. But first, a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Duelist Blitz. Alright, guys, I'm legitimately pumped to tell you about this game. I played the original Duelist and loved it. Duelist is a card game meets a board game. It is one of the most fun concepts to play. If you've played those mobile card games that are genuinely quite good with a lot of depth, different classes, mana, stuff like that, that's Duelist Blitz, optimized for the mobile experience. You can play as different classes, use different minions, spells, and all of this while trying to move around a board, outflank your opponent. Guys, it is so much fun to play. I cannot, in 60 seconds, tell you, you need to try it. Now, one thing about these kind of card games that can be really tough is that if you come in like... Now, one thing that's really awesome about Duelist Blitz is that it just launched 8 months ago. And that means you're getting in on the ground floor. There isn't like 5 years of cards and strategies that you need to know. I had such a great time playing this game. And I think you should try it too. The game is free. All you need to do is click my link in the description or pinned comment, and you can use my referral code JROSE11 to get 100 gold, which will help you get better in-game cards. And I hope to see you guys playing. Maybe we'll play each other. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Ivysaur. Its stats are actually kind of good for a middle evolution. That base 80 special is nothing to sneeze at, and base 60 speed makes it fast enough. Its move pool is also kind of useful. It gets Growth, a stat-boosting move, Sleep Powder, a sleep move, and Razor Leaf, which actually doesn't pair well with Growth because it always crits, but it always crits. So that looks pretty good. Its TM moves leave a lot to be desired, unfortunately. It does get Swords Dance, which it can't really take that great advantage of because it doesn't even learn a poison move, making that typing really bad. And yeah, none of the normal moves it gets other than Body Slam we're probably going to use. Now, you're probably expecting Brock to be a breeze, and he is going to be, but not for the reason you might think. Unfortunately, we don't start with a damaging grass move. We start with Leech Seed, which is how we're going to beat Brock, but unfortunately, since we're not going to get to level 13, battling the extra bug catchers would just waste time, so we have to battle Brock at level 7, and it's going to be a really slow fight. This isn't the first time I've used the strategy against Brock. It works really well. You just use Leech Seed, then spam Growl. Geodude, especially in red and blue. In yellow, this wouldn't work as well. Not that you would have an Ivysaur here, but it likes to spam Defense Curl, and once we use enough Growls, it'll eventually do 2 damage, which is the least it can do since it's not very effective, and then we just stall until we win. And the same thing is true of Onix, except it uses Bide. And yeah, this is a very lengthy battle, but it didn't require any extra training, and we're almost at level 13, which is kind of nice, and we can move on. Now, it shouldn't shock you that when we get to Cerulean, we're just going to go to Misty's gym right away. And I think it might be worth it to battle this extra trainer because there's going to be some poison Pokemon as well as a Pidgeotto coming up, so the extra experience could help us. The second trainer is mandatory anyway, and then we battle Misty. I'm hoping Misty isn't too bad. She does have to go for Tackle, and Staryu outspeeds. It's going to be a 2-shot. Starmie might be a little more of a problem, but as long as it doesn't crit too much, probably shouldn't have used Leech Seed. Actually, this was probably... Oh, well, that was a nice miss. And it was using Growl. You know what? Okay, well, that was silly. The next battle, I just don't make the same dumb mistakes and just use Vine Whip. Not really sure. Actually, I don't just do that. Why? Well, hindsight's 2020. You know, it's kind of funny. I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm recording this just because of scheduling. I've been sick for a week. I have a fever. And not to break your immersion, these gameplays and the voiceovers aren't recorded at the same time, but with a decision like that, and maybe more in this run, maybe somehow through some like Star Trek style time wormhole thingy, the fever decision making transferred to this playthrough. That didn't make any sense. I'm gonna go on because, yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I just realized what I did for the naming. That's cute. Anyway, against Pidgeotto, we just have to rely on both Leech Seed and not getting Sand Attack. We get pretty lucky, and then against Abra, I make a mistake, which is bad. I should have healed, and that's probably going to cost me versus Charmander. I don't really need Poison Powder, but I'm not going to use Growl. We could try some cheeky Leech Seed Poison Powder strats. I go for Leech Seed and then Poison Powder, because why not? And then when it misses, I just go for Tackle. And actually, the Leech Seed did help. Oh, well, very close. Had I done what I should have done versus Abra, we would have won. So decision-making still bad. Our next battle, very sadly, I don't do the thing with Abra where I use Leech Seed again, and this time I'm hit by Vine Whip, which is going to hurt, but I have way more HP for Charmander, and this time I get both the Leech Seed and the Poison Powder. There is a glitch where you can use Leech Seed and Toxic, which is pretty cool. We're not going to do that because it's a glitch, and also it's really slow. But it's something you can do, and it's very broken. I've never shown it off in a run before. Alright, another second try victory. Pretty good for Ivysaur, especially without Razor Leaf or Sleep Powder. How's it do versus Rival 3? Well, as you probably know, I have Body Slam from the SSN, and so it's going to 2-shot. Arrogantly, I didn't heal, and it's probably going to be a big mistake. Yeah, it looks like I'm not even going to get to Kadabra. Alright, well, I get to Kadabra, and hey, got to Charmeleon. And, oh, well, if it had paralyzed and not moved, then I would have won. I, for some reason, don't heal again, but this time I get better luck and I win. So that is our third consecutive second try victory. Pretty cool. Thank goodness we can learn Body Slam, a real lifesaver in many of these runs. Alright, we should first try victory Surge, right? Well, we're going to go Body Slam. We almost have Razor Leaf, that's going to be useful. Sonic Boom isn't what I want to see. And then we one-shot Pikachu. Raichu, Thundershock's fine. I would rather not be paralyzed, but at least you paralyze it back and it's a 2-shot and we're good. Okay, that's actually really useful. And now as we warp eventually back to Cerulean, there's no trainers that I need to really worry about, which is nice. And so we can skip to the other city that starts with a C. And I wonder, those of you who've watched all my videos several times, how many times have I accidentally said Cerulean or mixed up Cerulean and Celadon? It's got to be more than 0, because I do it all the time. I sometimes catch it and edit it out, and sometimes my editors catch it and edit it out, but yeah, it happens a lot. All right, Giovanni number 2. I'm going to go, I already have Razor Leaf, and so we one-shot, then we one-shot, and Kangaskhan is really bad special, but it does outspeed. We're only base 60, and we don't one-shot. Very sad. But we first try victory. Very happy. Now, we could battle Erica potentially, and we probably should because Erica's Pokemon, I believe, mess up because I'm Grass type. But instead of doing that, we're going to go battle Rival 4 because who needs good decision making? So I'm going to just spam Body Slam and Razor Leaf. That should work, right? 2 Body Slams for Pidgeotto, and then 2 for Oh, I fall asleep. Yeah. It's got to go for Hypnosis because I'm Poison type. You know, this was always going to be a 2-shot. That was annoying. It took a long time, but it's fine. Double Razor Leaf on Gyarados. That's fine too. And then Kadabra, I go for Body Slam. And then Charmeleon, 2 Body Slams. Excellent. All right, now let's go battle Erica. Alrighty, so Erica leads with Victory Bell, and as I already knew, it has to go for Poison Powder because Gen 1 is just broken. But don't worry about it. It's fine. We're going to win anyway. Tangela was as annoying as possible. And then Vileplume goes for Poison Powder. Hooray! Alright, now we got a choice. Koga's not a great matchup for Ivysaur because our moves are either not very effective or Koga's Pokemon have pretty good defenses. And Rival Fivel is going to be really tough. So what is Ivysaur to do? Koga seemed like the less awful choice, so I tried to battle him. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try Leech Seed and Growth. But if you'll notice, I reset. Why? Well, it's because I didn't have the move I need. And this is where we need to talk about some more Gen 1 jank. Hooray! I know very few people this is going to be their first video. I don't just do this to pad it out, although now by talking about my methodology, I'm padding it out. Anyway, here's the problem. In Gen 1, we can't both get a critical hit and use our stat boosts. So if we want stat boosts, we have to use a move like Mega Drain that won't crit every turn. And so that's what we do, and it's actually really effective. So we have Growth, Mega Drain, Razor Leaf, and Body Slam. Until we get Sleep Powder, this is pretty ideal. Once we get Sleep Powder, we're going to have to make a decision. So, I actually win pretty easily. I'm shocked. Wait, what if it goes for Self-Destruct? Sorry. I just assumed I won pretty easily. Okay, my assumption was correct. Yay! Sorry. So, a lot of thoughts here. Thought number 1. Yeah, if this is your first video, welcome. I'm usually a little more chipper. Again, fever. I'm not just saying that, guys. I've been sick for a week. I've re-recorded this video. Wait, no. I wasn't even supposed to release this video because Fire Red and Leaf Green are out. We're supposed to do which pseudo-legendary is the best in Fire Red and Leaf Green. That'll be coming next. But, like, yeah, I'm doing the Gen 1 starters because they're just easier to record because the videos are shorter and I can't physically sit. Although I'm hoping by the time the next one comes out, I won't be. And before you're like, J-Rose, you don't have to do it. No, I actually do. Like, when I say, you know, this video was brought to you by or thanks to the sponsor. Okay, we're getting kind of meta here, but like, I don't see a lot of YouTubers talking about this, just so you know. For a lot of us, they really do enable us to keep going and doing this as a full-time job. And just like you at your full-time job, even though there are times where, depending on where you live, it would be great to call out sick, sometimes you just gotta get some work done. And to be fair, I've waited a week. I didn't know my fever was like Gen 1 sleep, and it takes like 1,000 turns for me to cure. Like, usually it's like Gen 6 sleep, where it's like 1 to 3 turns. Like, this has just been totally ridiculous. And we don't have real life full heals. A complete scam. But yeah, I'm not saying this for sympathy or whatever. After like 120, these videos do need to be different. I was planning a musical episode, so an episode that I won't even remember recording because I can barely keep my eyes open. That is new. That is different. We have not had one of those on the channel yet. You know what else we haven't had on the channel yet? Me calling Rival Fivel just the 5th rival battle. So that's what we're going to do. Change things up. So 5th rival starts with Pidgeot. I wish I could put it to sleep because it can alternate between Wing Attack. I can't believe it just crit twice. But it can alternate between Wing Attack and Agility. We need Agility. We get Wing Attack a lot. And without being able to put it to sleep, it just isn't possible to win. So what do I do? Well, in these runs, you usually have to level up. Like, with fully evolved Pokemon... I don't know if Sean's going to edit that out or leave it in. We're going to really lean into this whole me being sick thing. But, sorry. What I was going to say is that when it comes to, like, 1st and 2nd form Pokemon, oftentimes you just have to level up. I actually was really stubborn and didn't. And shockingly... eventually, it worked. That's what happens when I try to be less monotone. But let me tell you how it worked. First off, remember I said Pidgeot has agility? Yeah, that's not true. It doesn't. I don't know why I said it. Again, I'm really not feeling great, but I know better. What we can do, though, to avoid not fainting to Wing Attack is just going for 2 growth. And then Mega Drain will start, if we actually go for Body Slam, outpace the damage. And then we can get lucky. Well, not really even lucky, sorry. We're lucky that the second Pokemon is Execute, because Execute has Psychic moves and it has Poison moves, which the AI in Gen 1's like, ooh, super effective, but like, no, does no damage. And so we can fully Growth and heal a bit. Gyarados is next, and of course we crit. But if we don't crit, if we don't crit, I'm going to run out of Mega Drains. The level up isn't that bad, although now we're not going to outspeed Alakazam. But because we used all those growths, our special defense is raised. And we don't have the infamous badge boost glitch working here. Growth being both offensive and defensive is good enough. Although with badge boost glitch, we would have done more damage with Body Slam, and that would have helped. But yeah, this actually was pretty good strategy. I'm actually really impressed. I know that sounds weird, but I actually did this run a little while ago. I forgot that's how I got around this. And you may notice that I am going to battle an extra trainer and go to the healing spot. Basically, we're going to have to get some more experience anyway, and I really needed to heal. So maybe I could have been better with my full restore, but like, we're going to level up later anyway. Second form Pokemon, unless they're amazing, usually need more leveling up. Speaking of leveling up, we got Geo2, the leveled up version of Geo1 in theory. So for Geo2, I don't know if I want to set up growth against Nidorino. Do I? Actually, I spent too much time thinking, so let's just go Razor Leaf. Yeah, see, we get the auto crit, and it's a 2-shot. And then honestly, yeah, just go for Razor Leaf. Yeah, it's a 1-shot. And then Nidoqueen should be at worst a 3-shot. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-shot. Okay, this was easier than I thought. Razor Leaf's really good. I think we're going to have to let it go once we get Sleep Powder and stick with Mega Drain. And boy, do I wish we had Giga Drain, which is 60 base power. But in the generations where that's a thing, Sleep isn't nearly as powerful since the opponent will attack the turn they wake up. The fact they don't should make things a lot easier, I hope. Speaking of hope, I hope these next two gyms aren't too bad, but we don't have a great type matchup against either Sabrina nor Blaine. And it's a matter of pick my poison, so to speak, although I already picked poison. You might be surprised that I picked Blaine first, but we can actually set up against Blaine's Pokemon in a way we can't against Sabrina's. That said, this is probably going to go pretty bad, and I might need to use rare candies, but we'll see. So we're going to go Body Slam, and I actually shouldn't be doing this because theoretically we could get agility here. And I'm going to reset as a result because I should know better. So yeah, let's go for growth. Ember. Okay, it's a 1 in 2 chance. There's agility. There's 2 agilities. All right, we got 4 growth. And now Mega Drain. All right. No burn. Boo. 6. And there's a 7th growth for good measure. Okay. Ponyta, we actually outspeed it, right? Because of the badge boost. All right, well now burn plus fire spin sucks. We knock it out, though. Rapidash, it's going to be a 3-shot. Fire Spin misses. Excellent. And now Fire Spin hits. All right, come on. All right, Super Potion's kind of bad. Oh, double Super Potion is double bad. We're going to run out of Mega Drain, aren't we? Okay, this could work. No, we can't level up there. That sucks. Fire Blast. Okay, wait, maybe this will work. Hold up. Is this going to work? Maybe, yeah. Let's go. Okay. So the ability to set up against Growlithe ended up being what we needed. And thus far, by the way, we've never really directly used Badge Boost Glitch, which is weird for me, but also just hasn't really worked out where I've needed to. Also, I forgot something in Silph Company, which is why I'm going back. But you don't have to watch that. You have to watch me go and battle Sabrina. Setting up against Kadabra is a bad idea. So we're just going to go for 1. Never mind. Yeah, that could happen, but if it doesn't crit, we should be fine, right? So, okay, we actually outsped, and now I'm going to go Mega Drain. That crit sucks. And then Mega Drain, actually, no, it wasn't the crit. And then Razor Leaf miss. Okay, wonderful. Let's try this again, where we're going to go double growth, Psychic, Special Drop. This actually isn't as big a deal as you could... actually, it is. So if our Special drops then raises... The badge boost actually triggers twice, and we're not down in special, but yeah. I mean, this is not gonna... Okay, how do I do this? I need double Psybeam with no crits. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Yeah, and it's a speed tie. Yeah, this is... I can try this a few more times, but... All right, let's try this one. Nope, it's not gonna work. It just crit. I feared it would go like this, but I was persistent, let's say. Body Slam can one-shot. Of course, it doesn't, which completely sucks, because if it did, then we wouldn't have been hit with a Psychic, and our special wouldn't fall. But I'm going to be really cheeky, so I go for Growth, Mr. Mime goes for Light Screen. Now we're +1, it goes for Barrier. Then we go Mega Drain, Light Screen's doubling its special defense. Now we're +2, it goes for Barrier. We're +3, it goes for Light Screen. +4, Light Screen. Why is it doing that? Because it only has a 1 in 4 chance of going for Confusion, and so we fully badge boosted. We should one-shot with Body Slam, but we don't. And that sucks because, oh, actually it went for Psybeam instead of Leech Life. That's really good. Unfortunately, we level up before Alakazam, but it doesn't crit. And as long as it doesn't crit here, we win. Yay. Leveling up has been terrible for me. I always level up right before the last Pokemon, meaning I lose all my glitchy speed. Thus far, it hasn't hurt us too badly. Let's see if that continues. All right, Geo3, and I think we should set up Growth. I have Sleep Powder now, so Razor Leaf, which we haven't used in a while to be fair, bye-bye. This is our moveset. It should work, and eventually I get bored and just think, all right, we probably have enough. Like, do we have enough? Well, no. I probably should have used more because I have to two-shot Nidoqueen and Nidoking. Actually, I don't know if it would have been faster or slower. Doesn't really matter. This was a pretty easy fight, but this is the last fight that will be easy. Eventually, we're going to have to battle some pretty tough Pokemon, starting with Rival 6 and his Pidgeot. This time, it does have agility. All right, Rival 6 is up to his Rival Tricks. I try to go for Sleep Powder and miss. And actually, Wing Attack's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let's try this again. Okay, this time, interesting. So it goes for agility, and I put it to sleep. Now we use 1 growth. Do we outspeed? No. 2 growth. Do we outspeed? No. 3 growth. Now we outspeed. I'm going to put it back to sleep, and then we have 4, 5. Wait, I think I miscounted. That was 6. Okay, now we just got to go for Mega Drain, knock out Pidgeot. Rhyhorn, knock it out. And, all right, execute. I'm going to put it to sleep. All right, actually, wait, it's going for Poison Powder. I don't need to put it to sleep. Whatever. Fine. That just wasted time for no reason. We don't crit against Gyarados, and another badge boost. Nice. But there's the level up when I didn't want it. But Alakazam goes for Double Reflect. And now Charizard. There's the crit. I hate that. So unlikely. And so unfortunate. But don't worry too much. The strategy seemed like it would work pretty well. I'm actually shocked I didn't have to level up. But yeah, in the end, although I had a bit of a dicier time with Alakazam, where I decided to use Sleep Powder just in case. In fact, using more Sleep Powder is always pretty effective, since Sleep Powder, you can't hurt me if you can't attack me, right? So, in the end, I beat Rival 6 in only, how many attempts was that? Not many. So, everything's going to be great, right? Wrong. You're very wrong. To this point, this playthrough has lasted 1 hour and 2 minutes. We're not halfway done. We have 5 battles, and more than half the gameplay is to come. Why? Why? Well, let's start with Lorelei. So, if I can avoid using rare candies, I'd like to. Dugong, I put to sleep because I outspeed it. And in theory, all I gotta do is use 6 growth. And since I'm super effective against most of Lorelei's team, we should be good. But are we? Well, if we get crits, we're not, but it's asleep. And we level up, so we're not going to outspeed much. Although we actually just do outspeed the Cloyster. And, unsurprisingly, the Slowbro. Jinx I was a little worried about. I go for Sleep Powder. Thankfully, it goes for Ice Punch and doesn't freeze. And I two-shot. Actually, this is probably going to be pretty easy. And it didn't go for Blizzard. Nice. Okay, so I'm at level 50, headed to Bruno. Now, if you think Bruno is the reason this is difficult, well, welcome to your first video. No, Bruno is not going to be difficult. I actually set up a few growth just to make sure I one-shot everything, and I didn't one-shot Machamp, but whatever. So, Bruno wasn't the problem. How about Agatha? I'm going to use the rare candies because I do anticipate her being very problematic. We have 12 Mega Drains for her Ghost Pokemon. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use some Body Slams because we're going to run out of Power Points. it is resisted by her poison Pokemon. All right, so the goal is to put it to sleep. And I get confused, but I put it to sleep. Nice. And now I'm confused no more and it's still asleep. And after one growth, I'm outspeeding. It goes for Nightshade, which is fine. I'm put to sleep, but wake up right away before Dream Eater. Then I try to put it to sleep and miss. All right, I need to go for a Mega Drain here because Nightshade would knock me out. It puts me to sleep, and then Nightshades, and then withdraws. Okay, Body Slam, Body Slam. All right, that's one down. We got to put this to sleep. Confuse Ray. Well, I think you can imagine this isn't going to be easy. There is a 25% chance we're going to miss with sleep. She tries to put me to sleep. There's a lot of luck in this battle. Hopefully it eventually goes my way. I haven't said this in a while, but you should know in these types of runs, will not save between Elite Four. In Pokemon Stadium never let me do it, so I just don't do it. In the battles where it's like really difficult, like the impossible ones, yeah, then I'll save everywhere and anywhere. My second battle with Agatha starts out so promisingly. I set up my growths, knock out the first Gengar, and I get rid of Golbat. Then Agatha does something I like to see where she swaps. And when she swaps, that means she's not attacking me, and it's a free hit, so that's great. And once I knocked out Haunter, I'm like, oh, this is it, right? Well, no, because I ran out of Mega Drains. Now, there are more PP ups that I could get, but I need to be better with using Body Slam and manage my power points better, because if I have to go back to Celadon to get another one, it's possible, but very unfortunate way to lose. By the way, Lorelei isn't free. Jinx can either freeze you or crit you with Ice Punch. And yeah, you can lose, which sucks. Oh yeah, and Lapras can either crit or in this case freeze. So yeah, that's part of why this took so long. And even in most runs where it doesn't happen, you can just instantly lose to the first Gengar. And I mean, this one, like crazy. It went from, all right, looking like a promising start to the battle to, okay, we're starting over. Finally, though, law of averages and all, the luck has to go my way eventually. In fact, I think I've gotten pretty bad luck against Agatha. Actually, truth be told, it wasn't even bad luck. It was a matter of, in one case, me just not playing well. We come pretty close to losing. Golbat, of all things, lowers my HP dramatically with a crit wing attack. Didn't see that coming, but when Gengar swaps back in, because she swapped into Golbat, we do a pretty good job gaining all our HP back with Mega Drain. This time we're smarter and we don't waste our power points, and I have 6 for Gengar, which almost, with some bad crits, almost wasn't enough, but we did have 2 to spare, and we're ready for the final battle of the Elite Four, hopefully. I mean, there's the champion, but the Elite Four, Lance. Okay, so let's put Gyarados to sleep, right? No. Okay, Hyper Beam's fine. And then we go Growth, and then Mega Drain just for safety, and then Mega Drain for safety, and then Mega Drain for safety, and all right, let's put it back to sleep. So, fun fact here. The only 2 Pokemon that can actually beat us is Gyarados, and not this. This can just spam Agility forever. Isn't that fun? But only Aerodactyl, in theory. In practice, Dragonite can beat us too. For the same reason we lost to Agatha, we can run out of power points. Now, how does that happen? Well, let me get by Aerodactyl first. Excellent. Okay, so it can either go for Agility or Barrier. We really don't want to see Barrier, but once we see it, yeah, Mega Drain starts doing more. And now we just have to hope Lance doesn't heal. Unlike later generations, the chance to heal is actually a little random, and Lance doesn't heal. Excellent. So we've made it to the champion. Surely this will be the victory. I mean, I said it took more than half the time, but maybe I was just lying. I'm delirious, clearly. I mean, my head is absolutely killing right now, but sadly, I'm not delirious. It starts off promising. We put Pidgeot to sleep, and we use 3 growth, another growth, 4. I don't want to get too greedy, and I just go Body Slam, and it goes for Sky Attack, meaning we knock it out with Body Slam. Now I'm hoping Body Slam will one-shot Alakazam. It doesn't. Psybeam doesn't crit, though. So everything's great, right? Level up's a little unfortunate since we won't outspeed everything, but not a problem. I can go for the final growth, actually the final 2 growths, and then I want Rhydon to actually start hitting me with Leer. Very good. and Tail Whip. Because if it does that, I'm going to gain badge boosts, and that should increase my speed to outspeed Charizard. Everything is great, right? No, I think you'll notice pretty soon something is not great. I'm going for Mega Drain because I didn't mean to go Sleep Powder there. I'm going to run out of Body Slams, and that would be a problem. But don't you worry. I have a feeling it won't be, because Gyarados gets Critical Hit Hyper Beam, and I have no idea what would have happened if I made it to Charizard. So close. And it would take me forever to get back there. JK, I lost one more time to Lorelei and to Agatha before beating Lance again. So battle number 2. Surely this one will be successful. Hopefully we put Pidgeot to sleep. Great. Stays asleep. Growth. Nice. Growth. Nice. All right. It's staying asleep. Now remember, 5 is what's needed to one-shot with Body Slam. So I use, actually, just let's go for 6. Why not? Body Slam, Body Slam. And then Alakazam, no crit. Things are looking great. So I can spam Growth instead of spamming Body Slam. And there's one Tail Whip. 1 should be enough to outspeed Charizard, I think. And then I'm going to put Exeggutor to sleep. And once again, I need to be careful with Body Slam, but we actually should be fine. I try to put Gyarados to sleep because I get scared. It misses with Leer. And, I mean, come on, guys. We've got to have won here. We've got to have won. What could go wrong at this point, right? Oh, well, that's a problem. I didn't outspeed. And now I'm caught in a Fire Spin. Well, eventually it's going to use something else, Fire Blast, which burns me. Are you serious? And it wakes up. Oh my god. Can we oh my. Are you guys seeing this? Okay, this is just nonsense. And we actually have come really close to winning too. Alright, well, that was just obnoxious. Alright, we've come really close and gotten awful luck. Surely now we're gonna win, right? Yeah, no. What's gonna go wrong in this battle? Well, I'll tell you. I don't get enough growth. I get confused by Psybeam. Still, we're fine. Still we're fine, right? This time I make it so I can use 2 growth against Rhydon, so I outspeed Charizard, right? We're doing all the right things. Then Exeggutor puts me to sleep, and because I allow Rhydon to lower my defenses, it does a lot of damage with Barrage and Stomp, and I lose to Exeggutor. Now, that was bad luck, but to be fair, it does have to go for Hypnosis, so fair enough, but I should have gotten a victory by now. This is ridiculous. What's gonna go wrong this time, you might ask? I mean, I put it to sleep. We're gonna try the 4 growth strategy again. Oh, this time, are you kidding me? It mirror moves me to sleep? No, come on. Are you kidding? Okay, we can actually still overcome this. We put it back to sleep, and now we just need to... I think we got this. Yeah, I think we need 5 growth here, and then, yeah, double Mega Drain. No, I'll try to put it back to sleep. All right. Are you kidding? Okay, whatever. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I do care. That's a lie. I care very deeply, and I'm pretty pissed. But, if I say I don't care, then somehow it makes me feel better. Except it doesn't. I mean, this already happened. Anyway, I start losing a lot to Agatha again, which is great, because I've been actually doing quite well against her. So it takes me a little bit to get back to the champion. But surely now we're good, right? Oh, you sweet, naive, gosh darn idiots. No. What goes wrong in this battle? Not Pidgeot. That goes well. We even put Alakazam to sleep. So what's going to go? Oh, I didn't mean to use Body Slam, but it's okay. Just got to go for the growths. We got double Leer. Everything's looking great. Now we just need Exeggutor to cooperate. Is it going to? Oh, look, it's asleep. Nice. And it stays asleep. We got this. I mean, what could really go wrong here? Just go Mega Drain here. Hyper Beam. Oh, right. That again. You might have missed it the first time it happened, so there you go. Everyone loves a sequel. Now at this point, you're like, all right, he's done this one too many times. This one's a fake out. He's going to win this time. No, Pidgeot puts me to sleep again. And then knocks me out with Sky Attack. You fool! I can't do impressions. Wow, that actually really hurt my throat. See the lengths I go to try and make a semi-entertaining video? Now, you might wonder why I don't level up, but it's because I shouldn't need to. I'm actually doing fine. Like, the luck is just absurd. Like, 2 Hyper Beam crits is simply ridiculous. And there is a Gen 1 miss with Body Slam. So, we're going to use the 4 growth strategy. I like it. Of course, this time Pidgeot wakes up early, so I'm going to go for... Okay, it heals. Great. Well, now I got to worry about my Mega Drains a little bit. We are fine. Okay, so now what? Should I go for Sleep Powder? Think so. Oh, it misses. And yeah, I knew that one was coming. All right, Battle 8. What's going to go wrong in this one? What's going to go wrong here? Okay, we put it to sleep. That's fine. We've seen this story before. Where is it? Oh, didn't wake up and put me to sleep. Okay, that's new. And you know what? I'm going to use the 5 growth strategy. I can't stand dealing with Alakazam. So we're going to save power points by going to Mega Drain. We one-shot with Body Slam. We know that from before. We get the level up. 1 growth. Okay. I'm not going to outspeed Charizard, though. So I just have to deal with that. We put Executor to sleep. We're doing less damage because we have less badge boosts. And now I'm going to put Gyarados to sleep because fundamentally, I just want to make it. And we do make it with full health. All right, I'm going to try to put... Oh, I actually do outspeed... Was it a speed tie? It was a speed tie! No, was it? How come I didn't outspeed the last time? What changed? Whatever, I win. Yay. That sucked. Okay, so this should have happened an hour ago, but Ivysaur was excellent. Like, really excellent. 431? That's pretty solid for a mid-form. That's a 2-hour improvement over Bulbasaur, and only an hour worse than Venusaur. And if you're wondering where that hour is, a lot of times it's stuff you guys don't really see. The individual battles with trainers taking extra hits really adds up. It sucks because I do show off the cool battles, but oftentimes to really understand why things are faster and slower, it's the boring, tedious battles that end up making a big difference. And in Ivysaur's case, it just was kind of slow at all those. And you could see it struggled at various parts, but was pretty good overall. I mean, for a middle form, this is pretty solid. Anyway, guys, I'm so done. I'm done talking.